my beautiful nation and what it means to me. Not a thing out of place, that's what's special about it. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, yes. And do you hear? It's the songs the birds are singing. Do you hear? It's a sound that's everlasting, and there's no end in sight, just the beginning of our lives. Sweet Grenada, this is home, home, home. Sweet Grenada, yeah, this is home.
Oi, 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 look at people. Welcome Grenada, Carrico, PD, Morning and the world. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. I want to say a special good night to you. If you're always on the program, if you're a loyal viewer of the program, we want to say hello to you. And even if you're not a loyal viewer of the program, but you come on and off, hello to you as well. And those of you who are here for the first time, would also like to say welcome to another Mikey Live program. Folks, this is no ordinary business. This is news discussed, not told. We want to get right into it and talk to you about what's making the headlines for today. We have the Police Food Fest results 2019 for you, all part of the Police Week celebrations. Grenada maintenance schedule, we have to inform you of that as well. 15-year-old Janelle Paul is missing. Rumors of SVG Air pulling out of Grenada. Also, Grenada registers its first para athlete. We'll tell you about that. And WhatsApp discovers a highly targeted surveillance attack. The Prime Minister of St. Lucia says that poverty fuels crimes. And you all remember that incident with the Chinese in St. Lucia? Where there was, I think it was on the embassy, and they locked in a construction company, some of the workers and their equipment. Well, about that, we have an update for you. So there's a lot of things that we will be talking about on today's program. And so, get comfortable. Get something to eat, get something to drink if you have not yet done so. Bring it by, and let's just have some fun while we discuss what's making the news. Folks, this is news discussed, not told. And we do not have a horse in the race, but it's just about news in your lily lolo. So take all your time. We're coming back. Yes, and we want to also remind you that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emirates International and WPG10. Here's what. Those of you on Facebook, please make it your duty to share the business. We are coming back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60, but as benefit expenses continue to rise and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
The excitement builds for the Grenada Music Festival 2019. 3 nights of pulsating live music and great food. The festival kicks off on Friday, June 7th with Rhythm and Soul featuring Freddie Jackson, Carrie Hilson, Eddie Bullen, Jefferson Ramirez and the Solid Band, and more. Saturday is Reggae Fest with performances by Busy Signal, Maxi Priest, Kamani Marley, and a special surprise guest. The festival climaxes on Sunday, June 9th with Soca Fusion featuring the All-Stars with Blacks and Teddyson John, Patrice Roberts, Was Ways, and many more. General admission Friday and Saturday $80. Sunday you pay only $60. Limited early bird, season pass, and VIP tickets now available at gotofet.com. It's the most talked about event of the year, GMF 2019. June 7th to 9th. Get your tickets today.
To keep it fresh, chill it. To get it hot, cook it. To keep it clean, wash it. Do all that and more with top brand appliances from Quartz. Try that recipe on a new stove. Keep those fruit bowls chilled in the latest design fridge. Get laundry done with a brand new washer and dryer combo. Purchase any Whirlpool product and get a chance to win $8,000. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing until June. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
All right, so yeah, man, we are always bringing value home. Again, we'd like to officially welcome everyone currently tuned in on the program. Now, it is time for us to get the business started. Now, the first thing that we need to tell all you about, boys, see the group of people on your screen, give them a clap, the good. Now, Hillsborough Recreation Ground came alive last Sunday with the championship match of the Republic Bank Right Start GCA Under-19 Inter-Parish Cricket Tournament. It bowled off between the finalists St. David's and Carriacou. Now St. David's rose to the occasion. defeating Carriacou by 205 runs. Shondell Regis of the St. David's and Kimo Peters of Carriacou, they were named joint right start players of the match, with Regis hitting 120 not out, while Peters made 106. You understand? Final scores: St. David's 319 for 4, Carriacou 114. Both sides had commendable performances. However, the St. David's team, boy, they came with the determination to win, and they bowled away with that title. Listen, they say they play real good. You know what I mean? So all give them a clap now. Give them a little something, let them feel appreciated. You know, we like to do it. You know, we like to do it for we people and them. Yeah, man. So give them a clap, all right, people. Alrighty. So blessings to them and to everybody who was involved, you know, in making it a reality. The whole tournament, I heard, was a successful one. Yes. All right. Let's just briefly tell you this: the Sandals Foundation, the non-profit arm of Sandals Resorts, has come on board to provide the Ministry of Education, we understand, with resources needed to continue the assessment and intervention program of the School for the Deaf. The donation, valued at just over $11,000 US, that's easy $28,000. You know? They say it continues the foundation's commitment to supporting educational advancement across the Caribbean. Now, they're saying that the donation includes a portable audiometer, literature and language resources, and so on. You know, we were telling all about that, I believe it was last week. And so they continue to do things within the community, the Sandals Foundation. And for that, we must recognize them. You understand what I'm saying? So people, clap again. Clap again. I should listen now. We got to name this segment clapping segment, you know, when we're talking about those things that's happening in the community. And speaking of happening in the community, police, the Police Week celebrations is on right now. They have a lot of things going on, and they had just recently the Police Food Fest results. All you hear that now? They say that Bido Club won the competition, and they had to taste it. People had to eat the food, taste the food and thing, and then they designated points and stuff like that. All right, it was a competition. It was not just about eating good food. It was a competition. I wonder what team Mike the on boy. Mike is supposed to be the boss, you know. Anyway, so Bido's club came out on top with 77.5 points, and then second there was Her Majesty's Prisons, 74.3 points. Yeah, boy, them prisoners could cook, you know what I mean. Then third, James Club with 74.2 club. That my club take all the time. Fourth was Clarkson's Club with 72.5 points. And then we had the Custom Department, 66.5 points. And Ogilvy's Club, sixth with 63.7 points. And seventh was Airport Authority, 58.7 points. Well, them airport people don't cook. They come seventh. Anyway, Airport Authority will come down and we'll give all a little tip. And I mean, but big up all yourself, all play well. I mean, all cook well and things like that, you know. But there must be a winner. So anyway, I heard it was good. Olia. So the next thing we have to tell Olia about, you know, we've been advising Olia of the planned maintenance schedule for Green Lake. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So they say that they'll be doing maintenance and upgrades in the following areas this week. They say, please be aware, if you are in the listed area, they would like to apologize in advance for any inconvenience that may be caused. In other words, you may experience outages. All right, so for today, that already passed. So we're looking at tomorrow, God's willing, which is Wednesday. So the areas that will be affected is Hermitage and Mount St. Irvins. So Hermitage in St. Patrick, 9:45 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. That's when they're going to be doing work, all right? And for the Mount St. Irvins in St. Andrew, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then on Thursday, Mount St. Irvins again, that's 12 noon to 4 p.m. And the final day for that is on Friday. They will be at Happy Hill in St. George, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Again, Grenlec say that they apologize for any inconvenience likely to be caused. It don't look like I will be on the program for long tonight, boy. Things going real quick tonight. All here. So the next thing that we have to tell all is that there's another missing teen. I find it had slowed down a bit, but then it picking up again. You understand? And police, they are seeking your assistance in locating Janelle Paul. She's only 15 years old, and she's a student, at the Mount Agnes School. That's Pomrose School in St. David. Now, according to this police bulletin, Janelle left her home on Monday, 13 May at about 7:15 a.m. for school and has not returned since. She's approximately 5 feet 4 inches in height, medium build, and dark in complexion. Now, anyone with information on the whereabouts of Janelle Paul, you are asked to contact the St. David's Police Station at 444-6224, Police Emergency at 911, Police Hotline, and that number is 444-1958, or you can also call the nearest police station. All right, here's a better look at the young missing 15-year-old. All right, we never know what will be happening, so we cannot make any assertions or make any assumptions or comments. We don't know, so all you just be on the lookout for the young girl as the police is asking of you. That's all. All right, we're moving on. How are we looking for time? All you. Well, as soon as day break today, boy. We're going on. As soon as day break today, we heard that something is going on with SBG Air. You understand? That some people are saying that. Hold on. Yes. They're saying that SBG Air pulling out of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. But if you see thing on Facebook, boy, I say, but I never hear that yet. So yes, so the founder and the managing director at the SVG Air is refuting those claims that they're pulling out of Grenada. Now his comments comes after the voice note started to make circulations on social media, asserting that the airline is about to pull out from Grenada.
Carriacou? Well, we're not pulling out of Carriacou. What we want to do is we want to replace the 9-seat Islanders because the company that makes the Islanders is on the verge of bankruptcy. And once they go bankrupt, it's not going to be legal for us to fly an aircraft that's not supported by the manufacturer. And that bankruptcy is imminent. So we have to do something right away. We don't want to get caught where we can't fly the 9-seaters anymore. And we need to position ourselves for that.
All right, thank you very much, sir. That is the founder and managing director, yes, of the SVG Air and Grenadian Airways, Mr. Paul Gravel. He's been refuting those claims of the airline leaving and withdrawing from its services from Carriacou and Grenada. Gravel says that the airline is presently in dialogue with government to introduce a larger aircraft rather than the one that is presently being used. They say because they are having several challenges.
It's not large enough, doesn't make enough money to support itself, and the aircraft is manufactured in the UK by a company called Britton Norman. That company's in financial problems, and it takes us sometimes 6 months to get a part. We have 4 of those aircraft, and often 2 of them are parked for 6 months waiting for parts. So it makes it very difficult for us to operate a scheduled service to Carriacou and be consistent. The other challenge we're having with not only Grenada, but Barbados, St. Lucia, Antigua, and some of the other governments, is they've put on all these horrendous taxes on flights in and out of their airports. We got concourse fees, baggage fees, security fees, airport development fees, departure taxes, in-transit taxes. All of these taxes have added up so much that it's probably knocked 30% of our passenger volume off our larger scheduled flights that we were doing from St. Lucia to the Grenadines, Barbados to the Grenadines.
Oh, and folks, he also talked of another of the challenges that they are having, the issue of high taxation incurred per passenger. He says it's one of the major concerns that is currently affecting the airline.
And those governments are charging us between 50 and 90 US per person to travel. So where we were making 90% of our income, it has dropped drastically because of customer resistance to high prices caused by the taxes. That's had a spin-off effect on our operation in Carriacou because we've been cross-subsidizing Carriacou with the money we've been making from those other services. So we now have to put Carriacou to stand on its own, so it has to make its own money to pay its own bills. And that's where we find it's a major challenge. We've challenged or we've asked for help from the Grenada government, and they're very receptive to us. I met with Miss Maturin Stewart, and I met with Wendy Williams, the airport manager, and I met with the head of tourism, and they were all very receptive, and they all want it to work.
Yes, boy. You know what? You know what he also said though? He said that they recently had a meeting as recent as today. It was held with aviation officials in Grenada, St. Vincent, and himself to explore options to remedy the challenges faced in providing the air services between Grenada and Carriacou. He says that once these ideas are implemented, it is only then a larger aircraft can be used on these routes.
And what they're looking at doing for us is where we need to subsidize Carriacou is we need the ability to fly from Grenada to Carriacou to Union, where the passenger flying to Union will help cross-subsidize Carriacou because you have people going to Canada that are spending $10,000 a day to be there, people are going to PSP that are spending $2,000 a day to be there, Palm Island $1,500 a day. So we can charge them the going rate to fly on a 19-seater, and that will help us put a 19-seater on the Carriacou route. And the other thing that we asked for help was Barbados and St. Lucia and some of the other islands allow passengers coming off international connection to go around the immigration, customs, and security requirements to go straight into in-transit and straight onto our aircraft, which means people coming from England and the U.S. can now land in Grenada, catch a flight to Carriacou, and clear immigration in Carriacou so that they don't have to sleep in Grenada that night because there's no way to get through all the security process, immigration process on time to leave Grenada to get to Carriacou before dark. That is going to be fantastic for us. That will help us put a 19-seater on the route.
All right, so he has put his card on the table. Now, interestingly, there was a press conference held today by the Minister for Carriacou and PD Martinique, that's Kendra, Matthew, and Stewart. And at that press briefing or press conference, she was asked about this issue and what can government do to assist with the problem and in keeping the airline running between the islands. And this was her response.
It is interesting because it was only yesterday that I met with Mr. Gavel and the manager, Mr. Lendo, at my office at Legal Affairs, and we discussed these issues. Now, there are two things that are on the table. The request for a waiver of taxes for persons traveling between Union Island, from Grenada to Union Island, and secondly, the issue of subsidies to ensure that the 19-seater, if they decide to use it here, would be viable options. Those options we will be discussing with the government, the entire government, and it's something that I intend to raise and to bring in cabinet for deliberations and for the way forward. But I have given the persons at SVG Air my commitment to working with them to ensure that we have this viable service available for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique. It would be a travesty of justice to have not one company fly between Carriacou and Grenada. And so as a government, we will do whatever it takes, or whatever we have to do, of course, within certain guidelines and within certain parameters, to ensure that there is connectivity, constant connectivity between Carriacou and Grenada. So it was only yesterday afternoon that we've had that discussion, and I'm yet to bring same to initiate a conversation with our Prime Minister and of course the rest of the cabinet. But rest assured, it is something that is high on the agenda and I will raise very soon.
It's a serious issue, and so let's see how it will get sorted out, all right? Good. Olia, so the next thing that we have to tell Olia about is that Grenada has registered its first para athlete. Yes, all you heard about that one already? Oh, well, no, well, we got to tell all about that. And I mean, that is good news. And let me see if I could get a little thing here for all you. You understand? Yes, man. So we have registered. Thank you, Haran. Oh, and by the way, the previous footage with Kendra came to you compliments KOMT Productions at my bedroom Kendall. All right. So the Grenada Paralympic Committee has successfully completed registration and licensing of its first athlete with the World Para Athletics WPC and the International Paralympics Committee IPC in the person of Ishona Charles. Claps, please. Now, the amputee javelin competitor has met the standard prescribed for recognition, which now makes her eligible to represent Grenada at international para-athletics events. They say that Miss Charles is one of the few Grenada para-athletes who consistently participated at the Grenada Athletic Association GAA National Championships and her club, the St. David's Trailblazers events. All right. It says that she also competes in the shot put and discus events. So Olia, she is persistent. Yeah. So please, yes, look thing on the program. That's what we're talking about. Recognize her too. You understand? She don't just sit down and feel sorry for herself. She don't sit and feel sorry for herself. She see what she could do with her limitation and her talent. Now they said the sports minister Nolan Cox in an email to the Grenada Paralympics Committee congratulated Ishona Charles, noting that it is historic and he looks forward to the growth of para sports in Grenada. You understand, people? They say that Ishona Charles will on the 28th of this month travel to Arizona to compete in the Desert Challenge in Arizona. You understand? Good. And by the way, she will be accompanied by her coach, Paul Philip. They say that Charles is also expected to become the first Grenadian para-athlete to compete in the Pan American Paralympics Games in Lima, Peru in August to September this year. Good, I feel good about reading that story, boy. I could go and sleep now. I could go and watch my food and sleep now. I feel good, you know, about bringing that story for all how we looking. Well, here the thing now. I really think to tell all about, you know, don't play all the thing, you know. Listen what we have to tell you. WhatsApp has discovered a highly targeted surveillance attack. You don't use WhatsApp? You? Well, hold on. I will tell you about what coming. Just hold on. We will tell you just now. Also, the whole issue with the Chinese that we told you about sometime last week or the week before. We have an update for you on it, Papa, where they lock the company inside their gates. Because they say the company damaged the road, the surface of the road. So they lock up the gate, they lock the workers inside and the excavator and stuff that was doing work for them. That ain't going just so. That is a situation that happened in St. Lucia, people. You know, so we're going to update all on that. And the Prime Minister there as well have been speaking about poverty and its association with crime. You understand? So here's what's going on. We take a coke now, and then when we come back, we do the thing, you know what I mean? It's a little break we're taking.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Experience convenient and affordable learning with online and blended higher education programs from the UWI Open Campus. Access our quality assured degrees, diplomas, and continuing and professional education programs at a pace designed to suit your lifestyle. Ask about our prior learning assessment, which credits previous learning experience and fast tracks the completion of your degree. Own your future. Apply today. For more information, visit www.open.uwi.edu. The UWI Open Campus, opening doors to life-changing learning. We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
The excitement builds for the Grenada Music Festival 2019. 3 nights of pulsating live music and great food. The festival kicks off on Friday, June 7th with Rhythm and Soul, featuring Freddie Jackson, Carrie Hilson, Eddie Bullen, Jefferson Ramirez and the Solid Band, and more. Saturday is Reggae Fest with performances by Busy Signal, Maxi Priest, Kamani Marley, and a special surprise guest. The festival climaxes on Sunday, June 9th with Soca Fusion featuring the All-Stars with Blacks and Teddyson John, Patrice Roberts, Was Ways, and many more. General admission Friday and Saturday $80. Sunday you pay only $60. Limited early bird, season pass, and VIP tickets now available at gotofet.com. It's the most talked about event of the year, GMF 2019. June 7th to 9th. Get your tickets today.
On Saturday, May 18th, Exterminator Movements present Ladies Night Out. Ladies Night Out. Going down at Caribbean American Barn Lawn, 1640 Nostrand Avenue, and featuring live Alma Boy. And Scorpion. Your DJs Lady D, DJ Fire, and DJ Empress. The first 50 ladies get a free glass of wine. It's Ladies Night Out at Caribbean American Bar and Lawn, Saturday, May 18. Admission only $10. And we're giving back to the Selwyn Smith Foundation. Listen, Soul Vibes Radio and Local Vibes Radio 101.7 FM to win ticket. Ladies Night Out, Saturday, May 18. Caribbean American Bar and Lawn, 1640 Nostrand Avenue. Be there. Sponsored by Aloe Beauty Salon, Phenomenal Barbershop, Smart Cuts Barbershop, and On Wine Juice Bar.
Are you okay? Good. We're good to go again. All right. And we are moving on. So, folks, it appears that the U.S. have published a document claiming that there has been a total of 239 Grenadians who have overstayed their time in the United States for the year 2018. You understand? 239, which represents a 2.17%. You understand? So they know. They have an idea of how many persons would have overstayed their time there. You understand? But we have run out of time. We are running out of time a little bit. And so we're going to tell you more about that. We're going to put a more comprehensive report on that for you tomorrow, God's willing. You understand? But yes, for the 2018 overstay rates, non-immigrants admitted to the United States for business or for pleasure via air, etc. The amount of Grenadians who would have gone into the country, 11,032. And how much stayed back? 239. Ain't bad. I wonder who causing. I wonder who causing overstaying them people country. Somebody say there's a liquor beat. Yeah, it's just stating the fact, you know. It's not analyzing the data. It's just stating the fact. It's not putting meaning to the data. Alright? Good. We are moving on. How we looking for time, people? So I told you all that I was going to tell you about WhatsApp. You understand? And the breach with WhatsApp. The long and short is they're advising persons to please update your app ASAP. They have put a fix because they have discovered a bug in the business. You understand? Hold on. Now, according to WhatsApp, hackers were able to remotely install surveillance software on phones and other devices using major vulnerability in messaging app WhatsApp. It has been confirmed. Now, here's what WhatsApp, which is owned by Facebook, said that the attack targeted a select number of users and was orchestrated by an advanced cyber actor. They say a fix was rolled out on Friday. Now, the attack was developed by Israelite security firm NSO Group, according to a report they say. Now, on Monday, WhatsApp urged all of its 1.5 billion users to update their apps as an added precaution. The attack was first discovered early this month, according to this report. How was the security flaw used? Well, they say it involved attackers using WhatsApp voice calling function to ring a target's device. Now, even if the call was not picked up, the surveillance software would be installed. And they're saying that the bug, the call actually would often disappear from the device's call log. Now, according to WhatsApp, they say that their internal security team was the first to identify the flaw, and they shared that information with human rights groups, selected security vendors, and the U.S. Department of Justice earlier this month. They say that the attack has all the hallmarks of a private company, reportedly, that works with governments to deliver spyware that takes over the functions of mobile phones operating system. So earlier, so if you have not updated your app, say within the last 3 or so days, then go ahead and update your app. Easy to do. You don't want to be a victim of them people business. You know, and by all indications, that box serious. You understand? They say you take over your camera and your mic and making it up. Camera and mic and thing, papa, yo. Let me leave that talk there. Right, how we looking? Now, all you remember we told you about this Chinese incident, and there, for some of you who probably didn't hear about it on the program, there was a video in circulation on social. Of course, we're going to share a piece of that with you. All right, that happened in St. Lucia. Very interesting scenario. It involved the Chinese national on the ground of the former embassy of the People's Republic of China. All right, where individual they locked in them workers who they hired to do some work, claiming that with the excavator they damaged the surface of the road. You understand? The workers claim that whatever the Chinese is talking about is something that you could have swept with a broom. So that created an uproar. And so now we have people who are actually talking about this right now. We join our folks at the HTS News Force for an update on this matter.
For the first time, the Managing Director of Construction and Industrial Equipment Limited, Reno Kajada, has spoken to the media about the incident in which his employees and equipment were locked in at the residence of the Chinese officials in St. Lucia. Kajada says he was overseas at the time of the incident and instructed one of his managers, Anselm Clozel, to handle the matter. As it turned out, Clozel, who had come to resolve the issue, was himself later locked in. According to Mr. Kajada, it is all done and dusted as far as he and his company are concerned.
To the issue, I discussed it with Mr. Clozel and said to him, well, look, now it has been solved and we are out and we should just let that go. However, he felt infuriated about what had happened, thought that it was really wrong what had happened, and he have chosen on his own, without me, without the company, to proceed in a law case against the Chinese guy who had locked him in.
But the man at the center of the controversy, Anselm Clozel, continues to press on, seeking legal redress for the alleged wrong. Kajada says there has been no communication with the Chinese on this matter.
Nobody from the Chinese part has called me to find out any information or to change anything.
The video sparked a social media storm, with some commentators alleging that the whole incident was politically inspired. The video was recorded by outspoken critic of the Alan Shastney-led administration and the former host of Politically Insane, Christopher Hunt.
It's not a violation to have workers locked inside a place. What if they had to get home to their families? What if the people that you locked there from 1 o'clock, what if they had to get home to their families?
You should have let me to tell the story from the beginning, okay?
What gives you permission to be locked? Why can you lock them inside? That's the question.
You should have let me tell the story.
There is no scenario that allows you to lock people inside of a building, inside of a premises.
Who says that the release of the video was held back not to gain any political advantage, but on the behest of the persons involved in the incident. St. Lucia does not have diplomatic relations with the People's Republic of China, raising questions about the status of the Chinese presence on St. Lucia. The Chinese have maintained a presence in St. Lucia since the end of diplomatic relations with them in 2007, spanning both the United Workers' Party and St. Lucia Labour Party administrations. They have occupied what served as the embassy and official residence of the Chinese ambassador to St. Lucia at Cap Estate, right next to the official residence of the Taiwanese ambassador. The release of the video has brought unwanted attention to the Chinese who have been existing quietly in a diplomatic dead zone. Stanley Lucien for the HTS News Force.
Thank you very much, Stanley. Interesting. Oh boy. So we're moving on. Very interesting, right? The Prime Minister of St. Lucia is saying that poverty is what fuels crime. Here's a report again from the HTS News Force on that.
In a sweeping statement on poverty and crime, Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, in his last pre-cabinet briefing, sought to connect the dots between the two social ills of crime and poverty in the context of St. Lucia. St. Lucia's Prime Minister says poverty fuels crime and warns that society can no longer continue to be indifferent to the plight of the poor. He says a broader and more coordinated intervention is required.
We have to care more. We have to want better. But we all have to be willing to participate. You can't sit here and just say, whew, the burden is entirely on government. Even if all government can do is put policy and resources. Ultimately, the time and the commitment to this has to come from the families. It has to come from the general public.
According to St. Lucia's Prime Minister, the twin social ills of crime and poverty cannot be left exclusively to the government. Poverty, he says, is everyone's business.
What we have to do is put a direct social program in, broaden the list of the more vulnerable people that we have in our society, and make sure that they're getting school books, making sure the kids get school uniforms, making sure that they have sports equipment, and the social workers are to make sure that those kids are being taken care of.
Prime Minister Alan Chastanet questioned the extent to which the state should intervene when the standard of care provided to children is woefully inadequate.
If in fact people are not maintaining their kids properly, in other parts of the world, those kids are adopted. Now, I'm not saying I prescribe that, because St. Lucia has to develop its own unique way forward. But you cannot continue to allow kids to grow up in households in which they're not being taken care of. The state is being blamed for it.
The majority of persons allegedly killing and those being killed are under the age of 30, with many of them in their teens. Prime Minister Alan Chastanet says St. Lucia needs to tackle poverty and crime in a comprehensive and strategic manner in order to make progress on those fronts. Stanley Lucien for the HTS News Force.
Thanks again, Stanley, for that report. And what we're going to do right now, let me see what else we have for you. I think that we were running out of time, so let's just take the quick short break. And when we come back, we've got more. We got the national report for you on the weather.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
We all look forward to our retirement, enjoying our golden years with family, friends, and loved ones. The best way to secure an income during retirement is through investments, savings, and an NIS pension. Thanks to improvements in healthcare, Grenadians are living longer, healthier lives. These years also need to be covered by a pension to guarantee a comfortable life. Today you contribute 9% and retire at age 60. But as benefit expenses continue to rise, and with longer lifespans, the NIS won't be able to provide pensions and other social security benefits at this rate. To continue providing benefits, the NIS will need to increase the contribution rate from 9% to 11%, a 2% overall increase shared between you and your employer. The retirement age will gradually increase from 60 to 65 over an extended period. Let's put this into perspective. If you earn $1,500 today, your contribution is $60 and your employer pays $75. With a 2% increase shared between you and your employer, you'll now pay $75 and your employer will pay $90. That's only a $15 increase. These are the types of social security changes being made worldwide. In fact, Grenada has one of the lowest pension age and contribution rate in the region. With these small changes, you'll be able to continue enjoying all social security benefits and retire between age 60 and 65 with the guarantee of a pension from the NIS. If these adjustments aren't made now, then by 2035, the NIS will need to increase your contribution rate to 22.5%. So, what can you do? Support the incremental changes and continue with the solidarity of the Grenadian people. A little change today for a convenient, happy future.
On Saturday, May 18th, Exterminator Movements present Ladies Night Out. Ladies Night Out. Going down at Caribbean American Barn Lawn, 1640 Nostrand Avenue, and featuring live Alma Boy and Scorpion. Your DJs Lady D, DJ Fire, and DJ Empress. The first 50 ladies get a free glass of wine. It's Ladies Night Out at Caribbean American Barn Lawn, Saturday, May 18th. Admission only $10. And we're giving back to the Selwyn Smith Foundation. Listen Soul Vibes Radio and Local Vibes Radio 101.7 FM to win tickets. Ladies Night Out, Saturday, May 18th. Caribbean American Barn Lawn, 1640 Nostrand Avenue. Be there. Sponsored by Alouette Beauty Salon, Phenomenal Barbershop, Smart Cuts Barbershop, and Unwind Juice Bar.
Alrighty then, and that's it right there for that. And folks, what we have for you right now is the national report. Now, there was a press conference today with the Minister for Social Development, a very interesting press conference. We're going to feature some of that as well in tonight's national report.
Government now has keys to safe house for young girls in need of special care. Details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, May 14th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The Grenada government now holds the key and deed to a building in the parish of St. George that will be used as a safe house for abused girls. It is expected to be opened by September. Assistance for acquiring the property came by way of a collaborative initiative with UN Women and the Child Protection Authority.
UN Women, Government and the Child Protection Authority has finalized the purchase of to provide a safety space for girls who are in need of special care and protection plan. For the way forward to recruitment of staff training and the setup of the facility, it is expected to be open in September. So I recalled in the budget we spoke of a safe house for girls, and government will be purchasing a building. I gave all that information. I am pleased to report that that is finalized. We have the keys and the title deed, and we are now preparing to hire staff, and fit the building for purpose, because we are going to be hosting our girls with issues. And we, as I said before, at the budget debate, the staff would not just be staff, people looking for a job, but it will be trained people who understand the needs of those young girls at the special, who need special care.
That's Social Development Minister, the Honorable Delma Thomas. During the weekly post-cabinet briefing, she said a proper evaluation will be done on all those desirous of seeking employment at the Safe House, following which successful applicants will receive the required training to attain the skill sets needed.
Not only persons who have a particular degree before. I said sometimes people study different field and not because they are passionate about it. So we're looking for people with passion, not for people who will be abusing the girls also. So we will continue to work as a government to ensure that we provide care and protection for children.
The location of the Safe House will not be made public as a means of ensuring the safety of the girls.
We finalized the building we purchased is in St. George's. However, girl security, member of the media, the security of our girls is important. Just like we would not tell you where we want to house women who are abused, we would not want to say to you where we are housing the girls who are abused. But we have a facility that we have just purchased. We received the key, we have the deed, and we are working assiduously to ensure that we hire staff. And very soon, we will do a media launch to say that we have launched. We're not going to bring you to the site to say that this is where the girls are. Because sometimes you have families and people, troubled people who will go to hunt them down, and we do not want that. We have to protect our children at all costs.
And what will be the function of that home?
What will be the function? The function will be for care and protection.
Government will on Wednesday provide an update on the CASIP project, which is being implemented here as well as St. Lucia and St. Vincent. The Caribbean Communications Infrastructure Program is designed to bridge the digital divide. Part of the project involves the installation of marine fiber cable from Conference St. Andrew to Hillsborough, Carriacou. Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, the Honorable Kindra Maturin Stewart, touched on the subject during her first quarterly press briefing in Carriacou on Tuesday.
Grenada is ready to begin the process of laying out undersea cable system, which will be laid from Conference Bay, Grenada, into Carriacou and up to the islands into St. Vincent during this said week. The current technology used for internet access in Carriacou and Petite Martinique as a result will be upgraded to high-speed broadband network, which will provide affordable connectivity to our islands. The fiber cable will increase access, and this will bring equity of access to broadband for the people of Carriacou and Petite Martinique and the Grenadine Islands.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation. Get to your destination safe.
Continuing the news, Grenada has signed on to the Beijing Plus 25 report to build awareness on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. That announcement by Social Development Minister, the Honorable Delma Thomas, during Tuesday's weekly post-cabinet briefing. In 2020, the Beijing Plus 25 report will mark the 25th anniversary of the 4th World Conference on Women and adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action. Minister Delma Thomas says Grenada has just completed a national review on the implementation of the Declaration and Platform for Action, which highlights the achievements of government with regard to gender equality and empowerment.
The implementation of legislation, policies, and mechanisms to address violence against women and girls. We have formed the special victim units and other mechanisms to improve support to victims, hold offenders accountable, and prevent violence against women and girls. Work will continue as this is a priority area for this government. Action are increasing to create gender balance in a wider range of jobs and training opportunities, especially for women in non-traditional fields of studies and employment. So we are looking as a government to provide scholarships and training in non-traditional fields of work. We have seen many of our people for the International Women's Day. We identify and highlighted many women who are involved in non-traditional field. But we believe that more women can be involved in non-traditional field. More women can work in other areas. And therefore, as a government, as a ministry, we are committed.
2020 is an important year for promoting gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls globally. Minister Thomas says in addition to the achievements, there are priority areas that will be worked on by the government.
Access to affordable quality health care, including sexual and reproductive health and rights, gender-responsive disaster reduction and resilience building, including climate resilience, gender-responsive social protection.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell received a courtesy call on Tuesday from Ambassador Holger Michael of the Federal Republic of Germany. In bidding farewell to the Prime Minister, Ambassador Michael noted that Grenada and Germany have enjoyed years of good cooperation, particularly in the economic field through GIZ. Thanking the ambassador for his 2 years of service, Dr. Mitchell also spoke of the good relationship between the two countries. He said, and I quote, "Germany is an important player on the world stage and has showed itself to be a friend of the region. Grenada and Germany have a great history of working together." Unquote. The Prime Minister went on to identify specific areas for which the country is particularly grateful for German cooperation. He said, "We value the German involvement in the Green Climate Fund through the support given and the opportunities created for building resilience in general." Both Prime Minister Mitchell and Ambassador Michael expressed confidence that the level of cooperation between Grenada and Germany will continue. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, folks, thank you very much. And let's just quickly take a look at the weather, generic weather, that is. And we can see here, it's temperature is regular, just about 28 degrees Celsius here in St. George's. And humidity is 84%, precipitation 8%, wind 24 kilometers per hour. And the minimum temperature is expected to be just around 26 degrees Celsius tonight. And yeah. So we may just get some rain. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Before we leave on tonight's program, let's just say hello to some of the people who are tuned in right now. We have Patsy tuned in. We have Zaka. We have Ebony, Trevelyn, Denelson, Camille, Kiween, Deborah. Hi, Deborah. How are you? And we have Charmaine. Who else we have? We have Dolores Gordon. Hi, Dolores. Did I say Trevelyn already? You know what, Trevelyn? Let me give you a ticket to go to the Grenada Music Festival. Have I ever given you anything, Trevelyn? So let me give you a ticket now. Why you fine? Yeah, you're gonna get a ticket, all right, Trevelyn? Big up Suzette, Deslin. Trevelyn, send me a message. Joycelyn, Angela, also Laurel. Hey, Laurel, what's happening? Noreen and everyone else, Danica and everyone else on the program. Don, big up yourself. I said Dolores, Sharon, and everyone else. Mount Carmel, big up yourself as well. Sally, and everyone else on the program. Asha, I see that you're there as well. Thank you for being on the program. And Diala, big up on the program. Veronica, Tammy, everybody on the program, big up all yourself. We're going to have another program for you tomorrow, God's willing. I want to thank you for viewing. And, of course, God bless you and your family. Let's do this together in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja! No. Good night, everyone.